Yo, what's up? And welcome back to Video Weekly. So, today's Tuesday, and do you know what that means? That means today is Tip Tuesday. And for Tip Tuesday, I wanted to finally answer a question that I get asked all of the time. How on earth do I get my background vocals to sound as full and as smooth and silky as I do? I don't want to waste any time. I want to keep this short and sweet, so I'm going to jump right into it. All right, so I'm going to let y'all hear the mixed vocals.
You know you're everything I knew. Oh yeah, do what you want me to. I would do anything. Get on my knees for you. Oh.
And now one more time with just the background vocals.
You're everything I knew. Do what you want me to.
All right, so first off, as you can see here, each background harmony is stacked 4 times. I have no idea why people stopped doing that, but that's the reason why, background vocals from the 90s and early 2000s even sound way fuller than what they do today. For example, listen to this. If I were to solo just 2 tracks from each harmony, this is what it would sound like.
You're everything I knew.
All right. And let's go ahead and solo all 4 stacks from each harmony.
You're everything I knew.
So I don't know if you can tell, but from the rip, it sounds fuller already. All right, so after you have each harmony stacked 4 times, the next thing you want to do is pan each harmony 2 left and 2 right. All right, for instance, if you listen to this.
You're everything I knew.
If you look, the first one is pan hard left. The second one is pan hard right. Third one is pan hard left. And the fourth one is pan hard right. You can pan your vocals hard left and hard right, or 75 or 50 or 30, whatever sounds best to you. For me, I pretty much always go with hard left and hard right. So after I pan all of my harmonies, I highlight all of the background tracks and I send them to bus 1. Pretty much every single DAW has buses. Sending all of your background tracks to one bus allows you to treat your background vocals as if they were recorded all in one take. All right, so if I open up the mixer and highlight all of my background tracks, you'll see that all of them are going to bus 1. Bus 1 is over here, and typically I'll just change this to backgrounds just so I can know. And once you do that, any plugins that you add to the background bus is going to affect all of the background tracks. So what I'm going to do is bypass each effect, and I'm going to tell you what effects I add and why. So the first plugin that I add is the CLA2A compressor by Waves, simply because this compressor is straight to the point and it sounds amazing. A bus compressor is super important for background vocals because it glues your background vocals together. This is what it sounds like with it off.
You're everything I knew.
And this is with it on.
You're everything I knew.
So if you can hear, the compressor really glues the background vocals together, as well as allows me to increase the overall gain of the background vocals. The next plugin that I add is an equalizer. I'm using the new F6 by Waves. This EQ is crazy because each band has a threshold. So let's say you're trying to decrease a certain frequency. It's not going to totally cut out that frequency. It's only going to cut that frequency out if that frequency hits a certain dB. So the only bands that I'm using is the roll off here, number 4, number 3, and number 6. So I have the roll off set to 111 to cut off any muddiness. I have the frequency of band 4 set to 2833 and the gain at 1.5 just to add a boost in the mids. And my singing voice, I have a harsh frequency that just stands out around 5700, so I like to cut that a little bit. You don't have to do that. That's just something that I do for my voice. And then lastly, to add some air to my background vocals, around 9400, I boost that like tremendously, as you can see. So this is what the vocals sound like with the EQ off.
Tonight.
And this is with the EQ on.
Tonight.
Woo! I know you hear that. I know you hear that. The next plugin I add is just a simple Deesser, also by Waves, just to get some of them S's out that can be harsh.
Tonight.
A Deesser simply makes T's and S's a lot less harsh. So the T in tonight causes the Deesser to react.
Tonight.
And the last plugin that I add to the background vocals is a chorus. What a chorus does is it glues the background vocals together even more, and it adds a little bit of a richness. In the 90s, they used to use chorus out the behind.
Tonight.
And this is with it off.
Tonight.
I don't know if you can really hear it, and you shouldn't. That's the thing. That's the #1 rule in adding plugins. You shouldn't really hear the plugin. It should just make a slight difference, and that's how you know you got a good mix. And then when you're done with that, you just want to dial in a little bit of reverb to your background bus, and then it'll sound like this.
Tonight.
If you want to know, the reverb that I'm using is H Reverb, also by Waves. It gives you so many controls, so you can make the reverb correspond with the song. And there you have it. That's literally how I mix all of my background vocals. If you found this Tip Tuesday to be helpful, make sure you thumbs up this video. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys very soon.